What is the recovery time after a steroid cycle or a TRT cycle? I have got this question so many times. So let's break it down. I can't believe I've never really fully broken this down. Let me explain exactly what people do and what PCT is and how it kind of worked for me. So we'll talk about bodybuilding first because that's where I started. So going back to my steroid taking career, it was as follows. It was you do a course for 10 to 12 weeks, you come off for 10 to 12 weeks, and you jump back on 10 to 12 weeks. Then as you advance a little bit, you start to do courses for 20 weeks. You do blood work, and you assume you're going to be off for 20 weeks, but you think, well, my blood work is kind of good. After 10 weeks, can I jump back on? And you jump back on. And then eventually, you just do one course, and you never come off. And that happened to me for quite a few times, many years. I did that for many years. I did that for almost 8 years straight on TRT, perfectly fine, good blood work, felt healthy. And then eventually after 8 years, I did come off. And I will talk about how everything kind of comes back to normal. So in fact, you know what? I will give myself as a very extreme example, being on for 8 years non-stop. TRT, 8 years. And through that 8-year period, let's talk about the dosages. So 250 milligrams of testosterone for the majority of it per week. At times, 20 milligrams of Anavar. Most of the time, 10 milligram Anavar. 25 milligram Proviron. A couple of bits of Mastron thrown in here and there at 200 milligrams. Primo thrown in at 150 or 200 milligrams per week. No, actually no, 100 milligram per week. Okay? So on this continues for 8 years. So 8 years this continues for. So those people who argue that it will never ever come back or you're completely shot, things are gone to shit, what do you do? Now the bodybuilding way of doing it is this. The bodybuilding way is Clomid, which is a horrible psychosis drug. It will send you in a downward spiral like nothing else out there. I don't even think Prozac is as bad as Clomid. You take Clomid every day. You take tamoxifen to combat the estrogenic side effects, which do, to a degree, hold off the estrogen. But you feel so shit in the process. Disgusting in the process. And on top of that, the Clomid is making you feel even shitter in the process. And then we stack it with the holy grail known as HCG. Human Chorionic Gonadotropin, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Who cares if I can't say the technical name? We do that. Now there's conflicting theories out there. Once a week, once every other day, once a day even. I've heard once a day. I've even tried it once a day. And then for those people in the know who are wanting kids and stuff like that, HMG, we could take HMG. We could do a little bit of that. And for those really intelligent folks out there, those guys that really, really, really know what's going on with your motility and your sperm and all that kind of stuff, glutathione, injectable glutathione, not the bullshit stuff that you buy off Amazon that everyone thinks we're taking glutathione, and not the stuff that you go to the labs to get the IV drip glutathione, because that doesn't stay in and it's not consistent enough unless you, of course, are doing that once a week. And that's about it as far as PCT is concerned. Now, should that be something that most guys should take? Here's my advice. Here's my opinion. And it has changed over the years. Yes, you have to be wise enough, intelligent enough, smart enough, aware enough to change your mind when data is presented in front of you. And data was presented in front of me. So traditionally, I did mine exactly like I've just explained to you. And the purpose was, at the time, was to come back on. To clean out, come back on. Now, why we have this thing, I'm assuming it's set because it's got to be for safety and longevity. When steroids are bad enough anyway. So the more time you have off them, the better it is. And if you're going to compete, smash the hell out of them. That's generally how most people go. And then eventually they come to a lifespan, which I have noticed a lot on bodybuilders now are like, I don't take steroids no more. I'm completely against it because they're really harmful and really bad for you. No, because your genetics can hack it, bro. That's it. You took too much, your genetics can hack it. There's guys out there that are smashing this shit out of gear and they're doing okay because the genetics can hack it. You see, there's genetics for everything. There's genetics for if your body can handle testosterone in crazy amounts. There's genetics for it. There absolutely is genetics for it. I've seen people's blood work who smash it. In fact, you just have to look at someone like Jay Cutler, who was absolutely smashing it to bits for years on end, maybe 2 decades. I got that right, yeah. 2 decades. Possibly longer. And he looks pretty healthy to me. Now, has he shaved any years off his life? Maybe. Who knows? Is he on TRT now? Of course he is. That's what he says he's doing right now. So, anyway, point is, that's the traditional way of I changed my mind after seeing what happened to me. So my theory was you come off steads or you take the last jab or the last tablet 2 weeks before and you do tamoxifen. And that holds off the estrogen. You don't need Clomid, and you do a little bit of HCG to kind of give your nuts a little bit of like a little nudge. Just call it a nudge. Give them a little nudge to wake back up. And lo and behold, everything comes back. And how do we know it comes back? There's a couple of readers. There's a couple of markers. One is your nut size grows. That didn't really happen to me. That's not really an effect that I feel. So I can't go off that feeling. Yes, of course, when you come, loads more comes out. But the main thing is blood work. And the 2 markers that predominantly stand out on blood work when you come off steroids and go into a HCG course to see if everything's come back is your LH and FSH. Generally, the main readers of that are, if these 2 are back, then my natural ability to produce testosterone is generally back. And then, of course, your testosterone should come back. Like, it might not be a lot, but it will come back. So that's what I would have prescribed to most people back in the days. And that phase normally stays for 4 weeks. Week number 6, you go to do your blood work and everything should be back, not to normal, but you can see that things are starting to come. Now, alongside this, there's a diet that you have to do, which is very, very key. It's very important. And that is a low carb diet. I don't give a shit about the other 2 nutrients. It's a low carb. That's the main focus. If you can have fats high, protein high, that's up to you. But the main focus is low carb. Because carbs, in a weird way, I'm not going to get into the science, convert to estrogen. They kind of hold a little bit more water. You feel a little bit shit, and estrogen and water, they are best of friends, weirdly enough. It just happens. So that was how I would normally say people, myself included, and to take people to do. So 6 to 8 weeks, you're fully fledged back to normal-ish kind of thing. And then I came about this new idea, which is completely cold turkey. Now, the cold turkey I went on was a little bit of a different cold turkey. I don't advise everybody to do the cold turkey that I did. If you want to know what that cold turkey is, go over to another channel called Faddy Thinks, and you will see what cold turkey I did there. But the cold turkey, when I had done blood test after 6 weeks, so 8 weeks in total because the last jab, and then your 2 weeks, and then you count another 6 weeks, so 8 weeks in total, everything went back to normal. Now, don't get me wrong, I lost a lot of muscle in the process because I was only down to eating 1 meal a day. Now, if you are one of these people that have had enough of TRT, you've had enough steroids, I would advise hold your estrogen at bay just for 2 weeks, which is, you can take Clomid. Not Clomid. You can take tamoxifen. Tamoxifen for 2 weeks, hold it at bay so you don't get any estrogenic related side effects and keep your carbohydrates way, way, way low. Almost do carnivore-ish kind of diet. Maybe keto. Go all the way down on the carbohydrates. You won't get any estrogenic side effects. You're going to feel shit. You're going to feel small. The pumps are going to be non-existent and you're going to feel weak. Standard. For those people saying, will I be able to maintain my gains? You're talking at your ass. Or if you hear those people that say, well, I took steroids and I maintained my gains, then you made jack shit gains, fella. That's the reality of it. If you maintained your gains off cycle, this is a message to every single one out there. If you maintained your gains off cycle that you made on cycle, you made jack shit gains. You didn't make no gains, fella. There was no point even taking the steads because they didn't do jack shit. The whole idea of being on gear is you look like you're on gear. If you come off the gear and you still look like the same when you was on gear, it was pointless for you to take gear. Because you might as well not have even been on gear because you could have made those gains naturally. I've always said this, guys. Steroids is not a shortcut to a physique. There is 2 different physiques in 2 different realms, in 2 different universes. There is a natural physique and there is an enhanced physique. They do not cross over at any point. You cannot gain a unnatural physique or enhanced physique naturally by going the long way around. It's a different destination. Remember that. You cannot gain this thing that people build up in their mind. Well, I will be able to get to this physique, but it will take me longer because I'm natural. Guys, you're building a complete different physique. It's different fucking houses. It's complete different ballpark. Not even the same thing. Anyway, going back to the testosterone. When you come off, you ain't maintaining dick. You can maintain a little bit. Why you want to come off, that's your personal choice, fella. I'm not going to advise you to come off. I'm going to say stay on TRT for life. But if you want to come off, whether you got health issues, you got whatever, over the next 2 weeks, and then go cold turkey. And I can almost guarantee if you follow a good diet, the proper diet, if you want to know what diet is, drop me a message. I'll send you one for free. Okay? You follow that plan for 6 weeks. Every single marker will return to normal. Your livers, your kidneys that were elevated, your hematocrit that was elevated, your FSH, your LH, your sperm count, every single thing will return to a decent enough standard, or at least start to get to normal. For me, 8 years, guys, remember this, 8 years, not missing a pin every single week. So what's that? 400 weeks. Have I got the maths right? Yeah. 400 weeks a year. 400 weeks a year. Never missing. Came back in 6 weeks. Because if you do it right and you do it in a smart way, that's what happens. Okay? So hopefully that answered your question. Have I missed anything there? No. So just make sure you're not doing crazy amounts of shit. That's the main thing over here. And if you guys are wanting to know how to come off TRT, or if you're wanting to know how to start TRT, or you're just in two minds whether you should come off or not, drop me a message below. Fadi Hussein, Calendly link is there. It's free of charge. Let's get on a call. Hopefully you like this video. Comment down below and please subscribe.